Here we have the 2011 Toyota Sequoia Platinum. Today I'm going to show you around this car, then I'm going to give it a test drive. But before that, please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more car reviews. So first I'm going to show you around the Sequoia. First thing you'll notice with this is just how big it is. I mean, look at that giant hood. Even this grill over here, it's still not as big as your modern Lexus grills, the spindle grills they call it. That just looks weird, looks like a trapezoid. This one still has a conventional Toyota grill, but it looks nice overall. Your headlamps are pretty big too. Your fog lamps too. Look at those are pretty big. As you move on over here, you can see that the rims on these are 20 inches and they're wrapped in 275/5520. Even though these are pretty big rims, they're actually very comfortable. I like it on this car. You got your step board, that's factory step boards. Your side view mirrors are pretty big as well. Over here you can see Platinum logo. So entering the 2011 Sequoia, wow, it's huge on the inside. Look at this door is huge. You can have a nice Sequoia badge over here. You got your automatic windows, but what's weird is only fully automatic on the driver and the passenger side. The back isn't. Usually it's just this one or all, but this one is just for the two in the front. Your door handle is also very similar to that in the FJ, and you got memory seating 1 and 2. Over here you have lumbar support, and you can even move the I don't know what this does. Oh, it probably doesn't work, but I think that's to move this one over here. Okay, anyway, let's go and climb on in. Let's check if the door has a nice thud to it. That's very far. Oh, very nice, very solid sounding. Okay, so here inside the Sequoia, first you got a steering wheel, which I've never seen on any other Toyota. It looks very different. You got blank buttons over here, which is weird given that this is the Platinum version and top of line spec. You got your cruise control over here. And look at this gauge cluster. There's so much holes in here. Usually it's like one whole thing like that, right? But this one there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all separated individually. Now if you see the dash is so wide. That's just so wide. And here in the middle, you got your temperature and your clock. Now, usually I'd say something like here in the middle, but the middle in this is just, yo, that's so big. You can like have a divider here in the middle, which makes it a left middle and a right middle. Just so big. And look at this armrest right here. You can even move this forward and backwards. And when you open this up, look how big that is. You can remove this. Wow. Have you ever seen a car with the center console this big? Even an Expedition doesn't have it this big. You close this down. You got 2 huge cup holders, like gulp cups level cup holders. 7-Eleven gulp cups. Over here, you can see that you have this head unit, which looks a bit faded. Let's try if it still works. Oh yeah, it still works. Now the responsiveness is not bad for a 2011 car. And if you just put it in reverse with the shifter, you can see that you have your reverse camera, which isn't exactly the clearest, but for, again, the 2011 car, that's not bad at all. Your knobs in the center, they're very much similar to the FJ where they're oversized. Now, it doesn't have the same knob as an FJ, but this is just really big. This to adjust your temperature, your mode. Oh, that's weird. So usually you can like select a mode, but this one you twist it to select. Then your temperature again for the passenger side. So it has dual zone climate control. You also got your heated seats. They don't seem to be cooled, just heated. Okay, so let's leave that for now. This one is your AC switch. And even the air vents on this one. Usually air vents, the biggest I've seen is like until here, right? This one, look at the size of this. It's like easily double that. You got more buttons over here. Sonar, that's probably for your parking sensors. Yep, that's your parking sensors. Some other things. You press this info and it changes over here in the middle. Fuel economy. What is our fuel economy? Let's take a look. 30 liters per 100 kilometers. So that's 3 kilometers per liter. That's okay. That's a price to pay for a very, very comfortable car like this. That is a tiny sunroof. This is an incredibly tiny sunroof for a car this big. I was expecting a car this big to have twice the size of the sunroof, but that's all you have. But that's fine, because the bigger the sunroof, the more leaks you can have, and the louder it is generally in the car, even though you have a cover to suppress the sound. So here, if you notice that there's a symbol of a car that has up and down, and here it says manual. Now, I'm not sure what the manual does, but what this one does is that if you press that and you look over there, the height control, it actually lower or increase the height of this car, which you can actually feel that. Air suspension. So over here, you'll notice that you have another button over here that's like a window. That's actually for the window on your tailgate. So that's up and that's down. It's pretty cool. Here at the back, first you have your platinum logo. Looks really nice. As you open it up, again, you'll see just how big it is here. And the rear doors actually open 90 degrees. Let's go and enter inside. Got a grab handle over here. Let's check if it has a nice thud. Very nice. So here at the back, it just has way more legroom than in a Land Cruiser. In a Land Cruiser, I noticed that the legroom is only like until here. Then you can't even jam your feet under there. But with this one, you can just lounge out like that. And the seats, as you can see, they recline like this as well. Very nice. The side, you got an armrest which you can pull down, and it locks like that. But if you lift it up, it's locked. The way you can put it down again is you have to put it all the way back up before putting it down again like that. Very cool trick. Here in the middle, since this is the platinum trim, it has the captain's chairs. So instead, you got a big gap in the middle. The lower trim models, which are very rare here in the Philippines, actually has another seat here. Now this seat, you can even move this forward and backwards to give more space to the third row, which is something that you don't actually need, since the third row is great even for full-size adults. And here on the side, you got soft touch materials. You have a manual sunshade like that. You hook it there, and your grab handles too, the one the same as the FJ where it's oversized. Same thing here. Now at the middle, you have your third zone climate control. So apparently this car has 3-zone climate control. You can adjust your temperature here, low, medium, high. Got a 12-volt outlet. And down here, you got 2 more cup holders, which again can fit 7-Eleven big gulp cups. Those are just so big. My entire fist can fit in there. So here at the third row, you got ample space, even if you're a full-size adult. And yeah, sure, I'm 5'6" tall, but even if you're 6 feet tall or more, as long as you move this front seat a bit forward, no problem at all. Now, here at the back, what toys do you have? Number 1, you got this. And it's kind of like, usually it's up and down, right? But this one slides a bit to the right, to the rear. That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's put that back. And another toy you have here, there's a button over here. Just grab it. And this one moves. Power recline at the back, at the third row. What other car has that? Here you got a big place. I guess this is your armrest over here. Then you got 2 more gulp cup level cup holders. Americans do love their gulp cups. So if you want to carry way more stuff, you just pull this lever right here. This seat folds down like that. Once this seat is down, you can just grab this. It's a Velcro strip. Pull this down. And you know, if this seat were like in its folded position, this is just one big loading area and it's completely flat. It's amazing. The tailgate of the Sequoia is power, but it's only power for closing. So to open it up, you just pull this. Opens up like that. And over here, you can see that there is a flat loading bay and it's completely flat to the floor. Now to raise that up, you just hit this button right here and it goes up like that. It's a bit slow, but it does go up. And that's pretty cool because in a Land Cruiser, it is power as well, but it folds to the side and that just takes up so much of your loading space. Under here, you got a nice cubby. It's pretty big. You can fit like 4 umbrellas in there. And to close this, In most SUVs, you're gonna have your power close button over here, but for this car, it's just this one. You gotta hold it, and that closes like that. And just like that. So over here at the back, you also have your tow hitch. Then over here, you can see, you can actually connect something there. So when you're towing and your trailer has turn signals as well, you can connect it to this. So if you turn your signals on, the trailer will also have its signals on. So under the hood of the Toyota Sequoia, just grab over here. There's a big lever over here. And under the hood, you're greeted with this big 5.7 liter V8 engine, which develops 301 horsepower. Just amazing. And look at the size of the engine bay. Despite the size of this engine, the engine bay is still pretty massive. So if you had a V12 in here, it probably still would fit. Close it down, slam it down like that. So driving the 2011 Toyota Sequoia Platinum, the first thing you'll notice with this car, of course, is just how wide it is. I mean, the armrest here in the middle is just so wide. It's like way wider than a Land Cruiser. And then there's the length. Now, this car is based on the Toyota Tundra pickup, which is pretty massive. And so this car is pretty massive as well, as compared to a Land Cruiser, which was built from the ground up to be an SUV. And because of that, I was expecting that this car wouldn't ride very well, given that it's a truck-based platform. But I'm positively surprised that it is pretty good to ride. And you know, when you turn corners, of course, there's a little bit body roll, but for a car this size, it's way less than I expected. Over bumps and potholes, you'll notice that the Sequoia is just so soft. It kind of just wafts along. This car has air suspension, which you can actually, raise or lower as you like. I don't even know why you need to increase the height. This car is already pretty high. So now we're just gonna accelerate the Sequoia, and oh my god, wow. This car has so much power. Like a 5.7 liter V8 with 301 horsepower. You think that's not enough for a car this size? It's way more than enough. Now that's something that you will not be able to get with the Land Cruiser, except if maybe you went for the LX570. But most Land Cruisers here in the country are diesel engines anyway, so really this is the best way to get that much power in a car this size. The acceleration is just amazing. And the transmission too. The transmission in this car, it just knows which gear that you want to be in. And the traction control, since right now it's raining, it can actually, stop you from doing stupid stuff. It's pretty great. The powertrain in this one, it's amazing, the Sequoia. I'm just gonna do it again right now, and oh, that sounds great. That doesn't sound as good as my FJ, which has TRD exhaust, of course, and that's to be expected. That's an aftermarket exhaust, even though it is TRD Toyota. But still, the 5.0-liter V8 will not disappoint you when it comes to the sound it makes when you accelerate like that. It just does put a smile on your face. For 1.85 million, this car is probably the best bang for your buck. If you want the Land Cruiser in the same year model at 2011, as far as I know, those still range from like 2.5 to 3 million, and they're not very rare in the Philippines. So it just doesn't make sense for you to buy a Land Cruiser if you can get something like this. One great thing about this car too is the visibility. Now you'd expect that a car this big would have bad visibility given its length, but actually the rear visibility is great, even around the sides. The rear window, the rear windshield, it's massive too. You also have reverse camera, by the way, so that helps too. Although it isn't the clearest, it still helps you when you're parking this long beast. Now, the Sequoia is a car that you probably wouldn't really drive by yourself. I mean, you could, but chances are you're gonna have a chauffeur with you who's gonna drive around for you, and you're just gonna be seated at the captain's chairs at the back, which again, you won't get in a Land Cruiser. So get this car for 1.85 million. Best deal. I'll put the seller's link in the description. I mean, his contact details, and you can just go ahead and call him. I think he'll give you a good deal. Great guy. If you like this video, please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to see more car reviews.